Minutes of a previous meeting held on June the 2nd, 2025.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of the minutes by
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the minutes as presented. Prepared by the county clerk. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? There's none. Treasurer and auditor report, and we have one today, is that correct?
We have this report here, y'all got in front of you.
Okay. That is the month ending.
Yes, it is the
May
month ending
31st.
May 31st, yes, sir. Do you, I need to read that, David?
Yes, please.
The Commissioners Court states that the requirements of subsection C of section 114.026 of the Texas Local Government Code have been met. The Treasurer and Auditor have submitted a report to the Commissioners Court for May 31st, 2025. The court has compared and examined the report and has approved it in the minutes. Attached to this affidavit is a true and correct copy of the report, including a report of the cash and other assets in the custody of the county treasurer at the time of our examination in the amount of $25,684,036.46, approved by the Commissioners Court.
I make a motion to approve the treasurer's report. Attached to the
Second.
treasurer's and auditor's report.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve work that's been presented by the auditor this morning. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Anyone opposed? There's none. Thank you. Further than, consider and take action appropriate.
I think we do that, bring that. Bill?
Wet and dry, all right. I think it's gonna be a dry, hot week. Employee changes, Commissioner Precinct 1.
I have we're fixing to start shredding, we're behind, it's all rain, and we're fixing to start shredding, hire John Moody Jr., he's gonna pay, we're gonna pay him $14 an hour to shred, part-time. And I'll make a motion that we approve his hiring.
Second. It's been moved and seconded that we approve the employee changes proposed by Commissioner Precinct 1. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? There is none. New business, consideration and possible approval of, I don't know how to pronounce that on here.
I looked it up, I think it's Rocinante,
Rocinante.
I think so.
Consideration and possible approval of Rocinante subdivision plat on Highway 279 and County Road 107 in Precinct 4. Ms. Dunn?
I am. Did I do that right, or?
I have no idea. It's my client's land. I'm just here to show it to you all. That one, I don't know. Okay, so he gave, I have all these plats and they're all,
And who is your client?
my client is Paul Griffin. He owns the land and he's decided to divide it into pieces, and each piece is more than 10 acres. So I don't know if we're supposed to be going through all of this with that. But from what I understand, with it being more than 10 acres and no infrastructure, he doesn't have to do all of this, does he? Does he need y'all's approval for that?
Well, we're here.
Yes.
And we.
And I get that.
So we want to.
Okay, yes. So for my future, this is the first time I've ever tried to subdivide land for one of my clients. I was under the assumption he wouldn't have to go through all these steps because they were more than 10 acres, but he's been told by other people in the county that he does.
Well,
There are questions.
there are in, That's a complicated question.
Yes. We've checked the water.
It's one of those
Yeah.
that if you ask 10 people, you're gonna get 10 different answers.
Okay,
And there's a couple of folks that, do most of the talking on this topic, and I'm not for sure that they know the most about it, but we'll just leave it at that.
Well, they all have access to Highway 279,
yes,
so they all have access to a roadway.
yes,
If they're over, are they all over 10 acres each?
correct.
Does that mean it's a septic system, you know, if it's over 10 acres there, they're not subject to that?
Yes, we've already had Rita look at it, and we had soil reports because he was told he had to get them, even though they're over 10
They're
acres.
all,
So-
11 acres.
I'm sorry.
they're all,
Yes, Rita in my office.
Yes.
If it's over 10 acres, then it's an exempt permit, but it still has to be a septic. It has to be septic permitted.
Okay, so that means we still do all the soils reports and everything?
Yes,
Okay,
correct,
very good.
yes.
So this is a learning experience for me.
Right, yeah, and Rita wasn't sure
I know
she signed off
along
on those.
279, but what about water?
There is water. We did have, Brooksmith go out and check the water lines, and they said it would be able to sustain 4 new residences.
Okay, I think this meets most of the requirements that I can think of off the top of my head. Just try to- Well, it's over 10 acres, so I guess she has to.
Rita, I think she has it, and then Dawn said after this, you'll sign, after you sign on it, we take it back to him, and then we take it back to Rita to sign, and then,
Rita signed it.
yeah, she's already signed it. Okay, so there you go. So he's already had Rita sign it.
Rita and Ron both.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, Rita told me this morning, she's good with it, but she couldn't remember because it's been a process.
Oh my
It's been
goodness.
ongoing for a while. And then, she couldn't remember if she'd signed the plans themselves, but then she had all her paperwork.
Oh, because it's not the county survey, we done a state of Texas. Okay. All right.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve this.
Precinct 4.
I'll make a motion to approve the, I can't even say it.
Yeah, that,
Can you say it?
no.
I think it's Rocinante.
There you go.
R-O-C-I-N,
Oh, is that a good one?
E-N-T-E subdivision.
there you go.
Plan.
Second. All right, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the plat as presented to the court this morning. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Thank you for doing that.
So they're only subdivided into 4 10-acre tracts.
Yeah, well, they're 4 more than 10 acre tracts. They're like 11.9, 1, 11, 10.
So they're not other properties, because I heard you say that they could have, that water was available to 4 more residences. What about the other? If anybody wanted to do it.
Well, that's 4 plats, so we only had approval to add 4 more tabs that haven't been actually added yet. These need to be signed by everybody. They're just-
No, just
Okay.
There are 2 private lines.
This is one private line.
thank you very much.
Thank you. Look at it.
Application to install private line in the right of way of County Road 214 by CTTC.
Yeah, 214, 555, and 221. I met with the guy from CTCC, or CTTC. We drove the roads. He's not gonna cut across any roads. He's gonna do probably 75% of his installation is boring. And then, the rest of it's just gonna be in the right of way. He's not gonna cut into any roads. And it's for, internet for all those residents up there that have.
Where is that?
It's up there in Winchell,
Okay.
So that's item B and C.
yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll just take up the first one since they're on the agenda separate. The one on 214, I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we approve the private line.
Second.
It's been moved and
Larry
seconded.
got it.
Moved and seconded that we approve the application to install a private line in the right of way of County Road 214. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? There's none. And then we will take up an application to install a private line in the right of way of County Road 555 and County Road 221.
I'll make a motion to approve those, applications to install on 555 and 221.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the application. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? There is none.
Oh,
And then there should be some kind of order in the,
Ma'am?
yes.
Get that sent off. Okay.
Discussion of the Encore Dinosaur Switch project. Does anybody know what the Encore Dinosaur Switch project is? No, somebody. Oh, well, yeah, we've got some
Representative.
educated.
They're not Encore representatives.
No. They're the opposite of Encore representatives, whatever that means. Okay.
I've got on there the discussion item because I think that this is a very large project that goes, well, there's one of four proposed lines that goes down from Glen Rose area out to West Texas, and two of the four main lines go through the northern part of Brown County, mainly precinct 4 and 2, and then portion of it actually goes through precinct 3 on one of the proposed lines, which these have not been presented to the PEC yet, but Encore is working on, they're gonna deliver these options to them. And I don't think, they said they made every landowner in Brown County aware, but I know they have not. And so they have finally made, after many phone calls, the constraints maps are available, but it's so large that you can't open it on an iPhone, can't open it on an iPad. We opened it on the computer up here, but it's hard to navigate. I went to Nathan Smith back there to where he works and opened it. They were able to maneuver around and look at the map much better. See how many, if it's actually something we can get condensed now, or we can get available at Brown County. We haven't done yet to from our website, but it's, they've not been very forthcoming with information. They had 3 meetings about it. None of them in Brown County. They had one in Big Spring, Sweetwater, and Stephenville. So if you want to know about it, you should have come to those meetings. Well, the people didn't know about it. If they should have known, we would notify them all. But most of the people I've talked to have not been notified or not aware that they've been notified. So there is a map available, but it's hard to maneuver and look at. But we're going to work on that somehow. Get that available. The filing date for the proposed lines is in December, and the CDC is supposed to make a decision by June of next year. So if this thing is big, it's like a 200-foot right-of-way cleared to the ground. It goes all the way across, 2 of the proposed lines go all the way across Brown County. And this thing's nearly 200 foot tall. I mean, it rivals the wind tower in size. People can see those things. And I heard it's gonna be the largest line in Texas. Is that, I've heard that from somewhere else, but I haven't got that in writing.
One of the largest.
One of the largest lines ever built in Texas.
760
How big it is. It takes out houses and structures along its way. They've been very tight-lipped about it. We called and asked for them to give us maps, and we took a lot of calling. They were going to finally make the maps available so we could even try to look these things up and see what it does to our precinct. There's no direct benefit to the county other than it does help the grid as a whole for ERCOT. But, I mean, it doesn't have a substation here where it delivers electricity or whatever to Brown County. We don't get a direct benefit from it. You don't get any revenue from it. It's not a taxable thing. It's a one-time damage payment to the landowners that receive these towers, whether they want them or not, that might get them. And I know I requested that they have a meeting in Brownwood. The judges officially sent out an email to them requesting to have a meeting in Brownwood so the citizens of Brownwood would know. Like I said, we would like to make the maps available for Brown County, and we want the people of Brown County to know that this thing is wildlife. I mean, a 50% chance, I would say, since there's 4 lines, 4 main lines go east to west. So two of them are in Brown County, so it looked at me like that's a 50% chance they're gonna try to come to Brown
But there's
County.
not gonna be 4 lines, there's just gonna be one.
One
They
line,
can decide.
but
Four options.
And actually, there's split off this, is there's two options how they could go through Brown County. One of them would go, come in there just west of May and turn and go north toward Rising Star. The other one would turn and go straight across the country down through there, and come down, come just above Blanket, and by the county there. I know that I've seen articles, I think that Nathan Smith, who is related to me, my son-in-law, has been working on this. He's actually on the radio about it. And Dennis Graham, I think I saw something on the website that you had noticed. I'm not sure what I saw on that.
I'm Daniel, actually.
Did I say what I say?
You said Dennis, and
I'm
that's
sorry.
okay, I do not
I
lie.
was gonna say, I bet you hear, it's not the first time you've heard
It's
that.
okay.
So there's starting to be some people, but there's a lot of people I call and said, do you know there's a proposed line coming across your land right next to your house? No, never heard of that. So we're talking, this is big. I mean, if you live somewhere out there in the north part of the county, you're gonna see it. What the people that were opposed to the wind turbines, which actually did have some pros and cons of these. I don't see any pros for Brown County as a whole for this. I've even asked my son for us to, as commissioners, to come together and, to have a resolution against this power line coming through. I don't know if we're ready to do that or not. I haven't discussed it with anybody else. Have I forgotten anything? Would you like to add to this? Anyone to go? Any pertinent facts?
Well,
This is
the only
all.
observation I have about this, as far as the notice goes, is apparently I'm one of the few readers and subscribers of the Brownwood Bulletin, the actual paper, not the digital online. And I've never researched the notice laws, but when they're required to give public notice on the big projects like this, apparently the law is if there's a local newspaper,
That's true.
they put it in the paper, and that satisfies the notice requirement. And from what I know and see, most people don't even know the paper still exists. They don't look at it, they don't read it. The news is always a week late because it's only a weekly. And thank God for Steve Nash, who's our long print reporter still. And thank you very much, Mike, also for keeping, Brownwood News online. But I saw that notice right away. I put out a notice to my readers. That's the Brownwood
So
News.
there was a notice in the Brownwood Bulletin.
It was in the bulletin, and I only saw one notice, and that was it.
Well, we were questioning when they had a meeting here, like I said, and they have not responded. There is actually a person to contact, it's supposed to be their contact, their legal representative for this project, and they're being very tight-lipped about it. And it'll be devastating to some people. There's people I know that are actually physically sick thinking about it happening to their land, and most people don't even know about it yet. So, but precinct 4 and 2 probably got the most area that's gonna be covered with that stuff. And most people I've asked, do you know about that? No, I never heard it. Yes, I see a hand in the back.
There is some speculation that it's just that on habitable structures. I spoke with Christine, I think Williams is her last name, she's the Encore representative listed on all the publications. And I asked her 2 questions. I asked her, I said, what is Encore's preferred route? She responded that Encore does not have a preferred route, the DEC will make that determination. I don't know if I believe that or not, or you don't have a preferred route, you're constructing a 250 mile wide. But the second thing was that, I said that this line will not go over inhabitable structures.
That's because they'll take it out.
And then I heard that there are houses that are actually, along these proposed routes that could be taken out completely, so.
And they're showing the picture on the map of habitable homes, but that's not showing you barns or other kind of anything else that might be under there, other structures, there are many other structures that aren't habitable structures. There's a large, very, very large impact perhaps in Brown County, and they're not even, people aren't even aware of it. So I don't know how somebody can go propose, give your land as a proposed route to run power line on,
Are they
for
gonna,
PEC to choose on, and you not even know about it until it's been, they're trying to get it so that you don't even know about it until the PEC acts on it. So
are they gonna claim some eminent domain
I'm
from
sure they'll have to, most people don't want to do this.
have y'all heard, and obviously I've heard from a number of different people, but against it, is there any group out there that's for it? Y'all heard much from people that are, I mean, I didn't know if there was just somebody out there that thinks they're fixing to make money.
I've not heard, I'm not saying it's not, I haven't heard.
Yeah, this is huge.
It is.
It's a huge.
Not a little deal. I mean, they had to put a power line in for a while back. They went to the switch over there on Holder to go toward Rising Star. You know, it's just a taller power line to your line. But this is one of those with a big metal steel tower with arms hanging off of it that's nearly 200 foot tall. Like I said, they clear cut the ground, 200 foot right away, clear cut to the ground. I understand around it. I mean, it affects your fences and everything else. You can't even run a fence parallel to it.
Well, they have one of those power lines in precinct 2, or 1 and 3, yeah.
I don't think it's
You see it off, you can see it off 45.
It's about half.
Pretty big.
It's about half
It's
the
big,
size.
it's big, but then it's
It ain't too big. This will be bigger.
That thing is huge. It goes
Really
across
is.
the south part of the
This is
county.
bigger than that.
Is it really?
Yeah, this is a 765, I think. So it's one of the very few big, they say slow. So like I said, it rivals a wind turbine in size, but you'll have a string of them from east to west across the county. One line goes right across north of the lake and cuts across just close to May and either goes straight below May or turns and goes northwest of May toward Rising Star. The other option runs right along the county line in Brown County. The east of the Brown County line runs across the top of the county. And we try to print those things off on our computer here. We have a different, probably a different web browser or whatever they want to open it. We can't maneuver it good. It's really hard.
I tried to look that the online version, and it's unreadable.
I did, but we're able to break it down and look at on a computer where someone I know works. I'm having trouble. And actually, we were able to pull it up. They have a different, maybe they got a different browser, something, but it's bloody. So somebody somewhere can work this better than we can on the third floor courthouse here. We tried. So it needs to be broken down to just Brown County at least, and then somehow access may be available to all the people that are possibly affected by this. There's a lot. It covers a lot of ground, 200 foot wide all the way across the county.
Yes, sir.
Is there a construction date on this project?
No, this is just the initial planning stage.
Well, I heard they got, I can't remember where.
They haven't been to the
They haven't
PUC
proposed
yet.
date to be doing the line. They think they'll have a decision made by June of next, I think it's June, I wrote it down here. Oh, by June of 2026, the decision will be made with which route it takes, and then the construction can begin after that. And it's trying to get electricity to West Texas from, I get granted, I'm assuming from the power plant.
From the HP, yeah.
So I don't know why they don't just build another power plant out that part of the country. You know, we have a large abundance of natural gas. Why not? So, I think one of the major producers of natural gas in the world, Texas is by far the largest. Yes.
land run deal is nuclear.
Nathan, do you have anything to add?
Encore does have they have a survey that they presented at these, I went to the Steve Mill meeting, and they got a survey that, and there's space in there to voice opposition. I said one ad, but, you know, everybody that's interested, pro or against, there's a survey for.
Yeah, they got it. He's right.
Not
They
more
have,
claims, they will provide this information from interested parties to the PUC.
they also have a little thing to fill out, a form about all your, how it will affect you and all that. Most people only know they're affected to fill out the form. And they said, well, they should have, if they knew they were affected, they should have come to the meeting. I said, well, they don't know they need to go to the meeting because they don't know they're affected. So we need a map so they know who was affected. So we're still advocating for a meeting in Brown County. No response to the last one, I'll let the judges. I've sent email, we have sent an email to them requesting a meeting in Brown County. And the judges sent an email also.
Do you want to get Steve and Mike? I'll give you a copy of the letter that I sent to the Encore. And what I was gonna say, Nathan, I would not, my advice would, and I mean, I know I'm preaching to the choir, but, would not be to, don't rely, or you tell people not to rely on Encore to express your feelings toward Pete. You see, you need to do that
Well,
yourself.
may I add that the PEC Did they get told yet? Because it's not been proposed to them yet, so they're not.
No, but he was saying he did a survey and that Encore was gonna send the results of that survey to the PUC. I wouldn't rely on that very.
I think the best thing to do would be get us, you know, opposition here that we get taken off of the possible routes map before it ever goes to PUC, but I don't think it can happen or not. That's gonna take a grassroots effort to get out there and get going. That's the reason I wanted to have this discussion. I know there are a lot of people that are affected, all of northern Harvey County that don't even know it. We're talking condemning portion of your land if you don't know. Let them pay the damage they offer to it, maybe taking out a building, a structure, perhaps your house. And you don't even know about it.
Yes, sir.
I know that, years ago, when they put the one in south of the county, there was a huge grassroots effort on the entire line. There was a group from down around, Horse Bay. They had a lot more money than we had in Winchell. We did get that preferred, line moved to another site. And I recall going down there and testifying for the PUC on that account, and there'll be some opportunities, I think, for you to do that. Unless they're streamlining this differently, right, they get in, but I think there'll be opportunities. If there was people that was hiring attorneys, and there wasn't anyone that I knew of that was in favor of it, but they still got the line in. I think the lines are necessary, you know, to provide the electricity. And this was a West Texas to Louisiana line or something like that. I don't know if you're familiar with that or not. It was a battle to get it moved, but we got that right.
It was gonna go through downtown Winchell at one point, wasn't
It was gonna go right downtown Winchell.
it? Downtown, because they got it moved
Sure,
up.
downtown Winchell's not huge.
But,
There were several homes and there was alternate routes that we recommended that were to pass through and not get within a quarter of a mile of any home. And, they ended up going down the same route they were at. In other words, if you notice that, there's two lines side by side, which they didn't want to do that because of, in case there came a tornado or something, they would like to keep the power grid open in case one got knocked down. But they ended up putting that structure right side by side with the other structure. A lot of it, through nearly all around the county, it goes two lines are side by side.
do you hear what the right of way is for that one, how wide it was?
I was thinking it was 200, then when they came back with the second one, I think it was 200 also. And they cleared it to the dirt to construct
Well, they keep it clear.
and fix it. Yeah. Put gates up, property owners, you know,
And Nathan, didn't I see something somewhere about something in December? Is that what it's gonna be presented to PUC?
Yeah,
They filed the application with the PUC.
Yeah, I've got that December. They had a date, but I just know it's December.
All right.
There's a lot of attention. I need everybody to know that.
Good, we're gonna rely on the Brownwood News and the Brownwood Bulletin to write front page articles about. Okay. There you go, that's the answer.
What did he say?
I mean, I remember all the opposition to wind turbines, and there were actually some, I mean, there are some benefits to Brown County and landowners. There's not, I don't see any on this.
All right. Next on the agenda is an executive session. So we will be in recess of the regular session at 9:37. I'm waiting in the hallway.
Can I add one thing? You can go online to Encore, Dinosaur, there's Longshore 265 kilowatt transmission line project. If you follow down through there, you'll find a link to the map.